Our very first telethon is the 24th and final episode of the third season of Full House. This is directed by Bill Foster, and this is an incredibly strong way to end this season. As always, there will be spoilers as I talk about what happens in this. I don't have too many thoughts because we only really have one narrative and there are not many problems that they encounter. It's mostly just about enjoying the performances. And I will talk about those in a moment. So it's maybe not as intricate as some narratives, but I still think that it's absolutely fantastic. We actually established the narrative immediately because Michelle goes to Danny in the morning and Danny thinks it's the middle of the night. He asks Michelle what she's doing up. And she says the sun woke her up, which is rather adorable. Turns out it's 7:30 in the morning. Danny had been up all night planning the telethon. And then the rest of the episode is at the telethon. It's a We Love Our Children telethon for 24 hours, which Danny is hosting, and it sounds exhausting. DJ and Kimmy are taking calls. Stephanie is taking calls. Jesse and the Rippers are playing music, and Joey delivers some donuts and then does a brief set and then a magic act. And this is the first proper performance we get with Joey and Becky doing this magic act, and I was not prepared for Becky's costume. It's amazing. She looks fantastic. And the trick they do, I'm not very good at working out magic, but I'd love to know how they did it. I'm sure the magic trick is online somewhere, but it was a pretty impressive trick. Becky is then meant to do a duet with Danny, but unfortunately she's stuck in the box. The trick didn't go according to plan, and she does the duet from inside the box, and then Joey comes out and tries to get her out of the box mid-duet. I think that was a really great way to keep the pacing of the episode. And then Danny falls asleep because he's been doing this for a very long time. And Michelle ends up hosting, which is absolutely adorable. She's making farmyard noises and doing the alphabet. And then Stephanie does the Love Shack dance, which I think is probably one of the most iconic Full House moments ever, and definitely one that I see floating around on social media a lot. So certainly a brilliant moment and a wonderful performance, of course, from Jodie Sweetin. We then get a performance with DJ and Michelle, and it's a song about cavities and sweet treats that I'm not familiar with, but I rather liked it. And then Danny wakes up at the perfect moment because Kimmy is riding her unicycle. And I wish Kimmy had been in this a little bit more. She's not in it too much, and I rather like Kimmy. But that's when Danny wakes up, realises he's been asleep for 4 hours. And honestly, I feel like sleeping on national television would be one of the most embarrassing things ever. Danny was definitely embarrassed as well. And then we have Mike Love of the Beach Boys, and they play a song with, he plays with Jesse, of course, and it's a delightful way to end things. And then we have a room full of balloons, and they've hit the $1 million pledge goal, and it's really good fun and really beautifully done with some wonderful performances, a nice way to involve everybody, and as I said, an incredibly strong end to the third season. Really loved it. I think our first telethon is probably one of the most iconic episodes of all time for Full House. It's just fantastic, and needless to say, an episode that I will always enjoy.